Welcome back to Morning Footy. Let us introduce you to the unique soccer journey of Michael Ndiweni. Ndiweni started in Newcastle's youth and academy programs from 2016 to 2023. And during that time, he progressed up to the under-21s regularly. In 2023, he was called up to the senior squad and made an appearance against Chelsea and even made the matchday squad in a Champions League game against PSG. But Ndiweni was released from Newcastle the following year, and over the last 18 months, he has been with several clubs, including Ashington AFC and Newcastle Blue Star. And he even showcased for the Baller League. Most recently, Ndiweni's career took another turn, coming stateside to play at the American college ranks. He's now part of the Ohio State Buckeyes, where he has played recently in his first 2 matches. And guess what? He joins us now here on Morning Footy ahead of a match tonight. You said, Michael, that you're currently in Indiana ahead of this game. So thanks for taking the time on a match day to join us for this interview on Morning Footy. We just went through your entire journey. So why Ohio State? How has it led you to this point?
Thanks, guys, for having me, first of all, and good morning. Yeah, I'm currently in Indiana right now. It's 9 o'clock, trying to get ready for the game, but I'll take the time for this interview, but I appreciate you guys for having me. But yeah, it's been a bit of a roller coaster. Like, you don't expect someone who's played in the Premier League and also been on the matchday squad in the Champions League to come to Ohio. But after I got released from Newcastle, I just saw an opportunity to go to a big school with a big history, and also the school was won the Big Ten championship last year, so I thought it was a good opportunity to develop myself further.
Now, Michael, we've talked about your incredible journey. You've had a lot of experience. Still only 21, but you've had a lot of life experiences. Are you Unc in the Ohio State locker room? Like, are you the leading influence in there?
Yeah, I am Unc right now. I'm a 21-year-old freshman, so what do you expect?
I love that so much. What kind of wisdom are you imparting to your Ohio State teammates, and are they coming to you for wisdom?
Yeah, a lot of guys ask for advice, or if they don't ask for advice, I like to chip in with some advice. Like, I've been around one of the best dressing rooms, in my opinion, in the Premier League, in Newcastle United. I've been around the best manager, and I've been around the best team that's had the best team spirit in the world, probably, in Newcastle United. Like, you see the players that they had, like Bruno Guimaraes, Alexander Isak, Sandro Tonali, and even Eddie Howe as a manager. I've learned so much from them, and I'm just trying to pass down that knowledge and kind of rectify the mistakes that these guys make, that I made when I was younger, just to try and get them on that right path.
Not many people that play college soccer right now can mention the name Eddie Howe as reference points that they can look to. So can you give us some insight into what is it like being an academy player and then you get that call up to play for Eddie Howe? And just what is Eddie Howe in terms of the brilliance of a manager?
I've always said Eddie Howe's such a good tactician on the pitch, and off the pitch, he's a good people person. Like, he was so nice to me. He took me in when I first started training with him, made me feel at home. But as soon as that ball is kicked, like, it's go time, and there's no hiding, really. There's no mistakes. Like, he'll be on to you, but he just wants the best for you, and he wants the best for the team. And I really commend what he's done, because he's made Newcastle United, from the time I supported them, we were like a relegation team up and down between the Championship and the Premier League. And now he's made them into a reckoning force in Europe. So I really look up to what he's done. And I'm really, really lucky and grateful to experience some of his coaching.
I thought it was so cool here. You say that, you know, Newcastle has like the best spirit of any team. We just saw some of that spirit on display from the team and the fans when they broke that trophy drought, winning the Carabao Cup last season. What was it like for you watching that? Do you still watch all these Newcastle games? And can you talk a little bit more about the spirit that you felt playing as a part of Newcastle?
I am still a massive Newcastle fan. I watch all the games. When I was in England, I went to all the Newcastle games. I still support them. I'll check the scores. Obviously, the time difference is a bit different here, so it's hard to keep watching all the games, but I'm still a big fan. But yeah, the team spirit, like, the biggest example I'll give is the PSG game I was on the bench for 2 seasons ago in the Champions League. If you put like both teams on paper, PSG probably should have won that game. But the way that we approached the game, the way that we showed up to the game, the way we stuck together, and we kind of proved everyone wrong. Everyone expected PSG at at their home place in Paris to beat us comfortably, but we managed to stick it out until the end, and we were unfortunate, which I believe wasn't a penalty, to concede in the last minute through an Mbappe penalty. But yeah, that wasn't a prime example for team spirit. It was also at the time where Newcastle had a lot of injuries. We had a makeshift squad. Probably our starting 11 wasn't the strongest it could possibly be, but we managed to go to one of the most fierce places in Europe and get a good result.
I love listening to you hear about this Newcastle. You are a proper Geordie. You love this team, man.
Why I man?
I love that.
Man, I'm a proper Geordie.
I love that so much. Before we got on, you talked about having the opportunity to go to a couple of the Ohio State football games. How does St. James Park compare to the Ohio State atmosphere in a football game?
Ooh.
You can't compare because it's different. It's different. You can't compare. I think I'll always have a love for Newcastle, but Ohio State, like, we walked out onto the stadium a few weeks ago and in front of 100,000 fans. That was crazy. That was crazy.
So you make this move, literally, you're living coming to America, right? You come from England, you come to America. When did this opportunity or the thought of coming to the States and playing college soccer cross your mind?
So I got released in the summer of 2024, and like you said in the intro, I had a chance to play non-league Ashington and Blue Star, and I loved my time there, but I felt like I needed something different. I felt like I needed a full-time soccer program to be able to develop myself further and educationally. And my education is something that I've always valued when I was younger. So when I was at Newcastle, I did extra higher education courses to put me in good stead in the future. And I got the opportunity through an agency called Vertex Soccer to come to Ohio State, and there was no looking back. There was no looking back.
Okay, so what are you studying? Like, what's your future plan looking like?
I'm a business major, undecided.
Okay, very good.
At the moment.
Well, I want to follow up on something that you said earlier, and that is just, learning to be a professional and helping your teammates at Ohio State maybe like kind of just kick some bad habits that you might notice that you learned from your time at Newcastle. What are some of those things? What is some of that wisdom that you're imparting, especially for any young fans listening on how to be a professional?
I think one of the biggest things I've ever learned from my time in Newcastle and stuff and playing football is, it's a great saying, like, there's no hunger in paradise. Just because we're at Ohio State, a massive school, we have everything, we get given everything, food, nutrition, facilities, doesn't mean we have to stop. It kind of means the hard work has to keep going, so we keep our place at the Ohio State University, and that we keep developing ourselves, because once the hunger's gone, people just catch up with you. I've seen it so many times, and I may have been guilty of this in the past. When you get given everything and when you're in a certain position, it's easy just to sit back and relax. But always in soccer, in any sport in that matter, you always have to kick it on. Because there's always someone behind you chasing you, one in your shirt, one in your jersey, one in your position. So it's always, you have to try every day to kickstart yourself and work hard. And also you have to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, then there's no point of playing professional sport or college sport.
Great advice in soccer and so many things in life. Was there a pivotal moment or conversation for you when you were at Newcastle that helped change your perspective? Was it a teammate or a coach that maybe had a conversation with you that really changed your outlook?
I think when I was younger in the academy, like, I went through a period of not playing any games, and I wasn't really getting into the starting lineup. And I spoke to a psychologist at Newcastle. Her name was Kim. And that conversation changed my outlook and perspective of everything. I wasn't playing and I also wasn't enjoying it. And she was like, Michael, you've got to enjoy getting better. Don't worry about playing. Just go into training every day, go into the gym, enjoy getting better, and your chance will come. And from that point onwards, I've kind of thought, wow, I need to actually enjoy. The most important thing for me is to enjoy what I'm doing, because if I look back at my life, and it's so easy for me to look back when I'm older, I hated Newcastle because I got released, or I hated the Ohio State University because I didn't play, for example, if I didn't play. But that's not what life is about. Like, there's so much more to sport, and we have to remember that we're so lucky, so grateful to be in these positions. You've got to enjoy every moment of it, enjoy getting better, and your time will come and everything else will come into place.
Michael, now, we don't get as many guests that are playing in the college soccer game that have Premier League and Champions League experience. But on the flip end, you're in good company because you have 3 former college athletes and someone who's off camera, Tony Meola, as a former college athlete as well here with Morning Footy. How has college soccer changed in your eyes, just in your small sample size? And what are your first impressions of college soccer in the States?
College soccer's hard. It's very hard. It's harder than I expected. To balance like your schoolwork, your classes, and the soccer part is quite difficult. It took me a while to get used to. And the football's a bit different. It's a lot more physical. It's fast. It's everything. It's like 100% all the time. So it's going to take me a bit of time to get used to, but I'm getting used to it.
Yeah, that's exactly how my co-ed rec league works.
Michael, Baller League has been a cool thing to watch from afar, a really, really dope sort of wrinkle in the game, and we saw you score an incredible banger. What was your experience like playing in Baller League?
Baller League experience is one of the best experiences I've had, honestly. Just to be a part of a thing, a groundbreaking new thing that's coming through, and also to meet legends like Alan Shearer, Ian Wright, Gary Lineker, Luis Figo, and celebrities such as KSI. I've met ISO Speed there. Like, it's like,
did he bark
to be
at you?
surrounded around. Thank God he didn't. But yeah, to be around those celebrities and influencers, and also like legends of the game, it's pretty special, and it's a pretty big moment. It's something I'll remember forever, and I think it's the next step in soccer, and it's coming to the US as well. So I'm interested to see how it goes on in the US.
That's a great goal. Oh, Tony's trying to ask something. I can't read your
Tony
handwriting.
Meola just held up a sign
Tones.
that said
I think you have a question.
I need him on TST.
You might be getting a call up from Tony Meola for TST this coming summer, brother. So just keep your phone open. If you see an unknown number, don't just hang up on it.
I've already had a few offers for TST, so you better be quick.
Oh, you gotta come with that bag. You better come with the bag,
like
Tony.
this one, I can guarantee.
Yeah, Michael, just remember these words, right?
Yeah.
Concacaf, and you'll be in good hands.
Tony's going to back up the Brinks truck. No, but besides TST, what are your next plans? Like, what's next for you? You said you're a business major. Do you have plans for your soccer career beyond college?
First of all, like, my first plan is to go back professionally in soccer, whether that be in the US or back in the UK. But I'm definitely trying to work my hardest, put all my work into soccer first. So hopefully, potentially, I'll get a professional contract after my time as soccer is done. And hopefully, the dream is, honestly, to make it back to the Champions League and play for Newcastle United once again. That's the main dream.